Hi lovelies, welcome back. And today I wanted to talk about communication in relationships for two reasons. One is because I'm seeing more in my own life how what I'm going to talk about is playing out, and also because I've been asked to talk about it, and I love answering your questions and talking about topics that you guys want to hear about. So we're going to talk a bit about communication today. So what I've seen lately is that there's kind of only two ways that communication with others goes. It either goes well and we feel more close, more connected, more loving, more kind of, on the same team as they are, and everything feels kind of like a coming together, or communication takes us away, which means we feel more disconnected, more upset, more frustrated, more isolated. We indulge our bad feelings about them, and we feel like it was the opposite of a productive discussion or conversation. And it seems to just really only go in one of these two directions. Our communication either brings us closer or takes us further from someone. And I used to always wonder, how do I know which one it's going to be? If I have to talk to someone about something, whether it's a friend or a partner or my parents or anyone, if I have something to say, how do I know when it has the best chance of going well and kind of the worst chance of going well? And what I discovered was that I really had to kind of clue in on what feeling I was in when I thought about having this conversation, because when I'm thinking of communicating anything, whether it's a hard conversation or whether it's kind of a neutral conversation, just something that needs to be communicated between two parties, or whether it's meant to be something that brings us closer together as kind of loving and caring, if I'm doing it from a feeling where I feel like the communication has to be done, it has to be done well, there's a lot on it, and I have thinking about it, then that's a pretty good sign it's not going to go that well. If I feel like it's more optional and there's no urgency around it and I'm not really thinking about it, it just kind of seems like an obvious common sense thing to do, then there's a good chance it's going to go well. And what this is actually pointing to is the fact that our communication is only as good as our state of mind is in the moment. So when we're in a state of mind where we're having a lot of thinking about what needs to be said, again, whether it's something that's difficult to talk about or something that's meant to be kind of loving and supportive of the relationship, if we're doing it with a ton of thinking, if we're doing it with a busy mind, if we're doing it where it feels urgent, like this has to be said, this has to be communicated, or we need to have more communication, or whatever it is, if it's coming from that feeling, chances are it's not going to go well. Why? Because our state of mind is kind of restricting our access to the natural good feelings that are always there. And by consequent, when we kind of start to see, wait a second, I don't really have anything on this. Communication would be lovely. It's not, I don't need it. I kind of just want it. We can talk about this thing today or next week or next month. It doesn't really matter. We don't really have any much on it. We're just kind of going through life and taking it easy and in our stride. Then chances are it's going to go well, because it's not coming from that busy, urgent state of mind. It's coming from a relaxed, clear, happy, peaceful state of mind. And in that state of mind, we naturally feel more connected to ourselves, which means that anything that we have to say, whether it's a difficult thing or whether it's an easy thing, the other person is going to sense that connection. They're going to sense that we're in that good mood. They're going to sense that we're closer to our home base. And chances are, and what I've seen in my own life, is that those conversations go really well, even when they're difficult or even when they're meant to be supportive and generative in the relationship. So the kind of rule of thumb, if there is one, is just to look for, how am I feeling about this communication, this upcoming communication? Again, whether it's something that's a difficult communication that needs to happen, or whether it's something that's a bit more kind of light and free and loving. If we're in a good feeling state, then it's going to come through in this connected, calm, clear state that no matter what words we use, no matter what the topic is about, no matter what we're actually communicating, it's going to be received better because we're in a state of mind to be able to have productive communication with another human being. And when we're not in that state of mind, when we're up in our head, entertaining a lot of thought, not feeling at home base, not feeling connected to ourselves particularly, certainly not feeling connected to the other person, which, spoiler alert, is usually why we think communication is needed. Like, oh, this is so bad, we need to talk about this right now, I can't wait. And that sense of urgency should tip you off to hold on a second. I don't think I'm in the right state of mind to be having any communication with this person right now. I think, and that it's not going to go so well if I try to do that. And all we need to do to allow our state of mind to shift is to be open. State of mind is always shifting, so just be open to it shifting and be open to it changing and say, what I know about state of mind is that the less I kind of buy into that state of mind and rev out that thinking, the quicker it'll pass. So if I don't like the fact that I'm feeling busy and urgent and stressed and kind of needy around this communication that needs to happen, I can just let all of that pass. I can let all of it come up and do its thing. And then when I'm in a different state of mind, I will be fully capable, fully present, fully connected, and fully able to have the communication regardless of what we're actually communicating about or what the issue is. So yeah, it always just comes down to state of mind and really seeing for yourself, am I in a position to be having this communication right now? And if I'm not, cool, I can just wait. And if I am, if I'm feeling good, then it means proceed. And no matter what you're talking about, it'll go over well. And the other person will sense you coming from the right place. So I hope this was helpful, and I will be back next week. Take care, my dears. Bye.